I'm going to say something that might make you angry. It might make you uncomfortable. But it's the truth you desperately need to hear if you are ever going to speak English fluently. You are not learning English. You are consuming English. You spend hours watching Netflix with English subtitles. You listen to podcasts. You read articles. You browse social media in English. You think you are studying. You think you are making progress. But when a native speaker asks you a question, you freeze. When you need to express an opinion, your mind goes blank. When you try to join a conversation, you can't find the words. Why? Because watching, listening, and reading are passive activities. You are a passenger in the back seat, observing the road, but you never touch the steering wheel. I'm Tom, and welcome back to English Adventure. Today, we are going to expose the biggest lie in language learning. The lie that consuming content will magically make you fluent. It won't. It never will. You are confusing input with output. You are confusing recognition with recall. Think about it like this. If you want to learn to swim, do you spend 5 hours a day watching Olympic swimmers on YouTube? Do you read books about swimming techniques? Do you listen to podcasts about the history of swimming? No. You get in the water. You struggle. You swallow some water. You kick. You flail your arms. You look stupid. And eventually you learn to swim. But for English, you are still sitting on the side of the pool, watching other people swim, saying, "Wow, they're so good. One day I'll be like them." That day will never come if you don't jump in. You have fallen into the consumption trap. You have created a comfortable English bubble where you feel smart because you understand what you read and hear. But it's a fake bubble. It's a procrastination device. It's a way to avoid the hard, uncomfortable work of actually producing English. Let's be honest. Watching Netflix is fun. Scrolling through Instagram is easy. It gives you an illusion of progress. It feels like you're doing something for your English, so you can avoid the pain of real speaking practice. But every hour you spend passively consuming, without actively producing, is an hour wasted if your goal is speaking fluency. Your brain processes input and output in fundamentally different ways. When you read or listen, your brain is a detective. It sees clues, words, grammar, and puts them together to understand a message. It's about pattern recognition. When you speak or write, your brain is an architect. It has to take raw materials, words, grammar, and build something new. It's about pattern generation. You can be an expert detective without being able to build a house. And you can be an expert reader/listener without being able to speak fluently. So how do we fix this? How do we break free from the consumption trap? You have to shift your mindset from a consumer to a producer, from an observer to a creator. This means less Netflix, more talking. Less podcast, more writing. Less reading, more active summarizing. You need to force your brain to engage in active recall. You need to force it to access those words and grammar structures from the deep storage, part of your memory, and bring them to the surface, quickly and efficiently. Your passive vocabulary is like a huge warehouse full of items you recognize. But your active vocabulary is like the small, organized section where you keep the tools you use every day. Right now, your daily toolbox is empty because you never practice actually using the tools. You just walk through the warehouse and say, "Oh, I know what that is." The biggest mistake learners make is thinking that more input will automatically lead to better output. It's like eating a huge meal every day and expecting to become a bodybuilder without ever lifting weights. The food, input, gives you energy, but you need to use that energy, output, to build muscle. You are well fed, but weak. So let's talk about what producing English actually means. It doesn't mean you need to find a native speaker to chat with for 3 hours every day. That's a great goal, but it's not always realistic. Production can happen even when you are alone. And it must happen every single day. Here is your new production protocol. Rule number 1. The daily summary method. Every single day, after you consume any piece of English content, whether it's a short article, a YouTube video, a podcast episode, or even just a social media post, you must summarize it out loud. Do not write it down. Speak it. To yourself. To your dog. To a plant. I don't care. In your own words, explain what you just read or heard. Use new vocabulary you encountered. Try to connect ideas. So, in that video, Tom was talking about why people freeze when they speak English. He said it's because of the inner grammar police that makes us scared of mistakes. He said we need to make mistakes to get better. This simple act forces your brain to retrieve words, structure sentences, and articulate thoughts actively. It moves words from passive recognition to active recall. It feels awkward at first. Good. That's how you know it's working. Rule number 2. The self-talk challenge. You are already thinking in your head all day, every day. Start thinking in English. Narrate your life. As you make coffee. Okay, first I need to boil the water. Then I'll add the coffee grounds to the French press. It needs to steep for about 3 minutes. When you're walking outside, the sky is blue today. It's a bit chilly, so I should have worn a warmer jacket. I hope it doesn't rain later. This seems crazy, but it is one of the most powerful free tools you have. You are constantly generating thoughts. Turn those thoughts into active English production. You will notice huge gaps in your vocabulary for common actions or objects. That's your cue to look them up and then immediately use them in your self-talk. This is low-pressure, high-frequency practice. It trains your brain to think directly in English without relying on translation. Rule number 3. The Sentence Builder Game. This is a simple game you can play anytime, anywhere. Pick any random word you see. A lamp. A car. A phone. Or a word you heard in a podcast. Now, force yourself to make 3 different sentences using that word out loud. Each sentence should be more complex than the last. Example, word equals challenge. Sentence 1. Learning English is a challenge. Simple, sentence 2. I accept the challenge to speak English every day. More active, sentence 3. Overcoming the challenge of expressing complex ideas in English is my main goal this year. Complex. This forces you to manipulate grammar, combine ideas, and stretch your active vocabulary. It turns single words into functional tools. Stop being a collector of words and start being a builder of sentences. Your fluency breakthrough is not hiding in another grammar book or another Netflix series. It's hiding in the uncomfortable space of active production. You have to create. You have to speak. You have to write. Stop consuming English. Start using it. This is going to feel harder than just watching a TV show. Good. Hard means growth. Hard means progress. Easy means stagnation. It's time to jump in the water. Get wet. Struggle. That's how you learn to swim. If you are ready to stop just consuming and start producing, hit the like button. Subscribe to English Adventure. We are done with fake progress. I'm Tom. Get to work.